Hey up people, welcome to another catch-up chat with Lawrence and Sam. At the moment I'm just about to invite them on and we will commence this chat. So let me just go and put it all over Facebook and everything. Sorry if it gets a little bit slow because at the moment I've been experiencing really slow connection and everything with this Google Hangouts. I've got full internet signal, but for some reason it's going really slow lately. I don't know why. So, but it's one of those things. Got to just take it as it is, I'm afraid. Hopefully I should be coming over quite nicely. Right, so let me just go and share this link with Facebook and everything so people can come and join. Where is... don't you find it really quite annoying sometimes when you go on a Facebook group and the thing what you enter a post or a status in is like missing, and then eventually it kind of like pops up out of nowhere? It annoys me that sometimes. I'm like, why? Hurry up. Anyway. You know, computers. I really am considering on trying a Mac or one of them, either a Mac or a MacBook Air. I've heard a lot of great things about Mac computers. I'm thinking of getting a little bit of an older model, maybe about 2 or 3 year old model that's still relatively decent in quality and everything. I am considering on doing that. Right, this shouldn't take us too long, people. And just sharing it on my Geeky Info page and my Anime Zone Facebook page. Now I'm going to put it up on Twitter. I did announce it on Instagram, but I'm not going to really bother with putting the link on Instagram. Yeah, mainly because I can't really be bothered. Because Instagram's it's a bit crap on computers. And it's more of a mobile phone friendly thing, really, it seems. Right. There's Twitter post going up. Annoying. What the hell? I posted the link twice. Computers really are annoying. There we go. There we go. That's done, and then I'll send everything else. Now, let me just check that is the right link. It is. Brilliant. Let me pin that to my wall so people can access it straight away. And that is that. Okay. So, now is to send the broadcast link to Sam and Lawrence Facebook again. I should have done that to begin with, but I thought to get I sometimes forget to put the broadcast link up on my social media so people can come and join me. So I thought to get that out of the way as soon as going live, so that I can remember. There we go. Post that link, and I'm done. Minimize this. So there we go. So what I'm going to do is as well, I'm going to make sure I've got my YouTube chat up as well. So if there's anybody that wants to come on in the chat section with this broadcast, then you can, and I shall hopefully see what's been said. I will keep my eyes peeled on this tonight, just in case there is anybody that's saying hi. So there's nobody there at the moment. I will keep my eyes on this because sometimes I get a load of bogus morons that are like kind of like basically trolls. I seem to get a lot of trolls on my live thing, so I just simply block them or mute them from the channel. So luckily they can't be seen or read. Or you could just simply block them, but I think there's no bother really, because a lot of trolls, they have more than one. A lot of trolls usually have more than one YouTube channel, so if they want to get back at you, they'll just use a different one. Simple. So then, that is that. Minimize that. I always have to send a little text message as well because they never see it. Oh shit. Wrong person. Embarrassing. Don't you hate autocorrect as well? It never works for me. Oh shit, what am I doing? Right. Yeah, so that is my services now done. All my social media is all sorted out. And I will now keep an eye on... I've said there's 3 watchers. I think one of them will be possibly me, because I'm kind of watching myself back. It's likely one of them's me, but maybe Lawrence. There's 4 now, apparently. Hello, 4 viewers. Hey, there's Lawrence.
You alright, buddy?
How you doing, man?
Sam coming on?
It should be.
4 now, apparently. Hello, 4 viewers.
Yeah, it should be coming on. You sent me a text kind of confirming that roughly, so soon see. Right. How have you been, man? Hope you. What you been?
Not too bad. Pretty good. Pretty good, thanks. Not too bad, really.
Good. Got anything? Any new purchases before Samboy comes on and dominates the whole thing?
Yeah. If you saw I put a couple of posts up at the in the MLP groups earlier. I just got myself this little Applejack figurine today.
Hi guys.
Hey.
And also I got the Hey Sam, and also I got the MLP figure, the MLP figure set of the movie Applejack, the pirate pony with the propeller thing on the ship.
Oh yeah. To be honest, that might be one of the figures I need because Sam for my birthday, I think it was. Yeah, it was.
You got the pirate. You got the pirate ship.
I got the pirate ship, yeah, with Rainbow Dash with it.
Oh, really?
I'm kind of thinking the figure that you got is one that goes with that set, likely. So.
How are you, Sam?
Not bad. I feel absolutely knackered and my arm's throbbing, but apart from that, I'm good.
Sam's been overdoing it on Pornhub again, I think. Care to elaborate what you've been doing today, Sam, on the broadcast, if people haven't been well aware?
Today, I fulfilled something that's been on my wish list for 5 or 6 years. I finally got a tattoo. See if anyone can see it very well on the camera. Probably won't be able to.
It's quite a big one. Was it quite painful?
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it there.
Yeah,
I can see it.
To be fair, mate, it didn't really hurt. It feels like a mild burning sensation, but it's not painful. The only 2 bits that kind of stung and were like, made you jump a bit was just near my wrist, because it ends just near my wrist, and then just near my elbow. Those 2 bits made me kind of shudder a little bit, but the rest of it was just like a very mild burning sensation. And it was a little bit therapeutic. It was kind of like, I could sit here and enjoy.
There we go. There we go, Sam, because I was one that before I got mine. Apparently, when people get the first tattoo, it kind of, the feeling of it isn't too, well, for me personally, it didn't hurt me at all. I was actually quite surprised because I was being told by other people that I've had more than one tattoo done, and they've said each one of them was quite painful. But again, it's down to people's pain threshold. At the end of the day, how people are with needles. Personally, I don't have a problem with needles now that I'm older. When I was a kid, I had a bit of a phobia of needles. When I had like my injections done, and that they had a right problem with me getting my injections when I was a kid. But now that I'm an adult, I get an annual flu jab every year, so I'm used to needles anyways now, because of my asthma and everything. And so I get an annual flu jab. I'm used to injections. So all the tattoo is just simply just a pulsating needle that vibrates. That just contacts the skin, obviously. And they just kind of just gently go along, like in a rubbing sensation along your skin, and then it injects the ink into your skin. So that's how it works. But end of the day, Sam, what you're feeling at the moment is the scarring that is starting to inflame.
I imagine it is, mate. I have just had somebody, brandishing a needle, repeatedly stabbing needle across my skin for 3 hours.
Exactly. Because essentially, when you're having it done, it doesn't feel that bad at first, but then afterwards, it's how can I describe it as more like a it's kind of like a warm ache.
John, you don't have to describe it. It's happening right now, mate.
I know, but I
know exactly what it feels like because I'm going through it right now.
Yeah, I'm describing it because Lawrence doesn't know what the feeling is. I'm describing it for
Lawrence. I haven't had one. See, I haven't had one.
It's a
exactly.
like a very mild.
I've only thought about getting a small one.
Hmm.
Like someone that I don't readily display, sort of if I go to work, when I go to work and stuff. I was looking at different ones of Thor's hammer, but I'd only get one sort of about here so that when I'm in important places, I can cover it up. Sort of about here on the above the forearm.
Yeah, well, if you want to get one, get one. personally. I mean, end of the day, this day and age, pretty much nearly every person has a tattoo now. Not everybody. Some people have a needle phobia. Some people don't like needles, so they won't go near a tattoo gun or anything. And some people are very, I won't say the wimps, because that's being a bit disrespectful, but I will say that some people just generally have this notion in their heads that's going to really hurt.
Well, some people generally aren't interested.
And some people are interested, yes. Some people don't like tattoos. Like my granddad. My granddad was a freaking fisherman. And most fishermen come back with tattoos. Because it was kind of a bit like the Navy.
I'll tell you.
You know,
my dad's got one.
And you come back with a tattoo.
Yeah, I mean, my dad's got one. He went and got his out when he was pissed, when he was just a young, I think he was about 19. He went out and pissed and got one on his backside.
Yeah, John's dad did that. He when he was younger, was like 18, 19. He got pissed one night and he got 2 anchors done on his thumbs for some weird reason. And for years, I thought John's dad was in the bloody Navy. And then one day it's like, oh no, I just got pissed when I was younger and I thought I'd get 2 anchors on my thumbs. Oh, right. Don't people ever think you're in the Navy? Oh, all the time. All the time. Yeah.
Yeah, well, to be honest, yeah, my dad regrets having them done, actually, because there was like a bit of a drunken thing between a few of them. I think my dad went out with a few mates and all of them had it done at the same time, the whole anchor thing.
Yeah.
I will say this, Lawrence, if you ever do get one, make sure you eat something before you go, because I didn't eat anything today because I didn't realise how long it'd be. And after the minute my tattoo was done, I crashed because my adrenaline obviously stopped flowing when it was done. And like a minute later, I literally went, I was white as a sheet and I was like dizzy. And I was like, I thought, what the hell? And the tattooist like literally grabbed hold of me. He was like, sit down. I'll get you some sugar because you're crashing. You need to go and eat something because adrenaline. But all in all, I'm happy. I've actually got this done, and I'll admit I think I agree with you, John. Because when Lizzie, the tattooist, when she showed him, she has tweaked it a bit. It's not the exact same design, but I'm happy with it because, strangely enough, it's actually nearly book accurate. She's never read the books, but it's the Saphira that she's done. She's nearly book accurate. And I looked at it and I thought, I really like what you've done. And it was bigger than I thought it was going to be. And yeah, I agree with what John says. It is detail-wise. It's actually much nicer, bigger, because you get more detail in it.
Yeah.
I ain't going to stay on long, by the way, guys, because I really need to get this. I need to get the I need to get this unwrapped and washed up and then re-wrapped again, really.
Oh, Sam. Oh, it's taking all of his energy to have a tattoo done. Oh, bless his cotton socks.
Well, you got to look after him, mate.
Yeah, you got to look after him, but it never stopped me from from a late one again. All I did basically, you can take that cellophane off as soon as you get home. That's what I did with mine. Basically, they only wrap them so you can get from the studio, obviously, to back home again without knocking them on public transportation and jams and that crap. But, personally, when I got home, my dad said, just take it off, it'll be fine. Let some air get to the tattoo and it will heal it better. So I took my cellophane off, and about an hour or two after I got home, I just started applying that cream. And I just kept doing that for the foreseeable future, and my tattoos have healed up perfectly. So some tattooists have different opinions. A respectable place like where you went to, Sam, they will have a standard of how to look after it. Some places,
give me a list.
yeah,
but yeah, they're good, mate. I would highly recommend them. I really would. They're a proper custom place, really. They don't have any tattoo books, where you can pick one at random. They are pure custom work, and they are, most people. Because when I was in there, about 3 people came in and ended up chatting to someone about ideas and stuff.
Mm.
But yeah, tattooists.
Yeah, I mean,
wiggle my fingers. They were doing it. My hand kept going numb after a while.
it will do. I mean, I've not had a tattoo on that side of my arm yet. I am thinking my next one, I'm either going to get a memorial one for my mum, or I want to get a custom one. Well, no, the memorial one will be like a custom one because I want to come up with some sort of a design that kind of incorporate different things that my mum liked and maybe kind of put them into one like memorial thing. So, or either that or just go with a traditional cross because my mum was more religious out of me and my dad. And I kind of think maybe getting one of those like St. Christopher crosses with flowers around it, like that kind of thing with mum underneath. But some people will be like, oh, how boring. That's not very imaginative. But end of the day, my mum wouldn't want me to cover my arm with an obscene, stupid tattoo just because my mum passed away. She'd want me to have something sensible. So that's what I'm kind of thinking about. And my dad don't want me to go freaking nuts with him either because he regrets having his tattoos on his thumbs done. So he knows that some people go do stupid things when they get tattoos when they're drunk. And my dad was one of those people because what happens? I mean, I actually thought I was actually going to get one in Benidorm. But I didn't realise how expensive Benidorm was until I got there. I thought it'd be actually quite cheap. But it isn't. It's actually quite expensive for everything.
Yeah, it's tourist.
Well, the thing is, all the holiday resorts now. I mean, a lot of Europe is making, I think, a lot of their money off of tourists. So that's why prices are going up a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, me and my mum, we went a few years ago. I mean, and they're him. I mean, and if Brexit happens, it'll get more expensive. We don't know if it is going to happen now, do we?
Well, I'm not going to go down that. I'm not going to go down Brexit in this conversation. I'm just sick of hearing about it personally. Yeah, it's happening. It's been voted for. It's an absolute shitstorm in House of Commons at the moment. But
yeah, I mean, they said we could possibly get the second referendum, but
yeah, well, I don't know. I'm just phasing it out of my head. I'm really getting sick and tired of it. I mean, yesterday, that's all it was with the bloody no confidence vote thing that went round,
and she's won it again.
Yeah,
she's making a shit mess of it.
She is. But anyway, let's move on to something more entertaining because I really hate politics. Yeah, it's important. I will agree, and to people viewing this, will probably be like, "Oh, John, you're an idiot. You have to thingy politics. You have to understand politics. You have to do this, that, and the other." But personally, I'm a person that simply I know what's going on in the world. I act stupid, but I like to just kind of. I've got my own problems at the minute, and that's where I lie with stuff like that. But yeah, but yeah. So basically, let's go back to the tattoo thing. Basically, I've got 2 tattoos now. I got the first. Basically, the 2 tattoos I've got. I did the beginner's stupid thing that you should never do, and I got them out of a book. The first one I had done, I actually don't mind, and it's a tribal design with a skull in it. And personally, when I had it done, I thought it looked really good. My dad liked it, my mum liked it, and lo and behold, my grandma liked it as well. And my grandma isn't for tattoos because she's from that era where back in my grandparents' time, tattoos were you were a type of person back then that had a tattoo. That's kind of how you're perceived. You know, it's a wrong perception to see someone with a tattoo, but that's how it was back in my grandparents' day. Back in the 40s and that. So, yeah, but now it's becoming much more of a thing. But yeah, all my family don't have a problem with me having a tattoo.
No, well, they shouldn't. you're an adult, you can do what you want.
I mean, my dad's got tattoos anyway, so I mean,
Yeah,
I've done
it's a good thing to be sensible with them. The reason my dad do get one, go and get a little bit pissed before you have it, because you might doze off like he did when it's actually being done. And then
they were, if you actually show up drunk, they won't let you.
No, you can't do it because
modern tattooists, they will not serve someone if they walk in pissed or even slightly tipsy. They won't.
Yeah, and also, what does alcohol do to your blood?
It thins your blood.
It thins your blood, so you start to bleed out.
Well, you wouldn't bleed out from a tattoo.
No, but you'd start to bleed a lot more than normal. Yeah, it'll become a bit of a health and safety thing because they'll be having to dab it more often when they're trying to get it done, and they'll probably say to you, "Oh, you might have to come back because that's bleeding too much." And like Sam said, they won't even serve you if you've had a drink. If it's a respectable place, they wouldn't. If it's a place like
it's important to go to a real proper licensed tattoo artist, not go to someone dodgy like where they who does them in the kitchen.
Well, the ones around here, they're all licensed. What I mean is that some of them have a reputation for kind of being a bit lazy, and kind of doing it regardless of of how the person is. Kind of they could be drunk or whatever. But we do like what Sam went to. Sam went to a place called House of Wolves, and House of Wolves is a custom place, but it's a really respectable place. It's hygienic. It's got great ratings online, and many people in Hull go to it. And we have some bloody great tattoo places in Hull. We've got the House of Wolves. We've got the one the one I went to was called Body Image. I think it was.
Yeah, that used to be Body Image is what used to be. What was the name? Body Art, I think it was called.
Yeah, Body Art. Thank you.
Yeah, that used to be Body Art. It's now called Body Image.
Yeah, I went there, but they've gone down a bit. I was looking.
Put it this way. Right. I mean, I know people that went to Body Art years ago when they were good. But when I mentioned Body Art in the studio today, and I said, you know what, originally I was going to go to Body Art about like 2 years ago, but I didn't because they were basically overcharging me. All the tattooists laughed. They were like, "I was like Body Art, yeah, that place, yeah." Well, it's a good thing you came here. Actually, they did used to be really good, but it was the guy that ran it that was the good guy. I can't remember his name, but he was really good. He was really talented, and he left to set his own place up in London. And I think a couple of people went with him, and it just kind of went downhill from there. I mean, not fully. It still got some good feedback, but I think it's more to do with the actual talent that left.
Well, it is. And I remember that there used to be a woman that worked there, and there was a couple of guys, and one of them specialised in, like, obviously custom tattoos, but a specific type. And I remember looking, well, obviously I was too young at the time, because when it first opened I was about maybe 15, 16. So when I used to go to town, I was like, oh, I really want to get a tattoo when I'm 18, 19. I really want to get a tattoo. That never happened until I was about 20 odd. I got the first one when I was about maybe 23, 24. But roughly about that time, yeah. So basically, when I used to go past there, the wall was just chocker with all this artwork that was photographs of the work she's done, or he or she had done, and the wall was just covered in this of their own personal works, and it was like horror characters, and it was kind of the art where they're kind of ripping out of your skin, kind of like there was a Freddy Krueger one where it's like his claw was kind of ripping out your skin, and you kind of just saw him. It was, the artwork was amazing. And I thought, I really want to go there and get something like that on my back, but I thought, nah, nowhere in hell would my dad let me get something like that. And my mum wouldn't like it either. Hello, Mindy. But yeah, I mean, like I say, I'm going to get another tattoo. I don't know when. I can't afford to get one at the moment. I was actually quite surprised. I'm not. It's up to Sam if he wants to say how much his is, but I watched them. 100 quid, yeah.
That was it. Well, technically it was 80 because I paid 20 quid deposit to book myself in, and then it was 180 quid in cash. I did actually ask, you know, because to be frank, what I've got here is damn good for 100 quid. You know, it's bloody good. And I asked Lizzie who did it, and she basically just said that House of Wolves just set their own prices. They don't have a set rate. And she did say if it had been an all-day slot, and it only was about three hours, minus 30 minutes to get the stencil done on me, it would have been more. But obviously, it was only a 3-hour job, and I think it was the only one she did today. So I think, you know, whatever reason, she was only charging me so much. And I think it helped that it was largely one colour. It's blue. You know, it's blue with white and a bit of dark blue.
All right. Okay, guys, I'm just going to nip downstairs quickly for a second. So I need to make a quick phone call. So
all right.
No
back
problem.
in.
Yeah, well, that's usually how it works, mate. I mean, the ones I can't remember how long it took for mine to be done, but mine had no colour. Mine were just shaded and basically just black. Black and shaded slightly. My first one probably took altogether with the outline being done and it also being kind of shaded in. Probably took a bit over an hour, and they only charged me 80 quid for my first one, which was exactly the same. And I think I paid £5 or £10 deposit, so it was 90 quid in total. Which wasn't too bad for my first. And then the second one, they charged roughly the same price, but there was more detail in that one, and I was actually quite surprised. But I kind of keep thinking to myself, I'm not sure if I should have, because sometimes they ask you to go back, but I can't remember if they did or not, because both my tattoos essentially incomplete. My skull one should have had white in the skull. It never did. But I don't know why. And then obviously the Madragon one, it needs more detail to it to make it look more convincing. But what I'm thinking about doing is getting a touch-up or something of my Dragon one probably see how things go. Either near the end of this year or next year. There's no rush. But I want to see about getting either a touch-up. If they can't do a touch-up, or if they can't really do anything with it, I might see if I can have a cover-up. Cover-ups cost quite a lot because I'd
speak to House of Wolves.
Yeah.
I've honestly, I think you should go in and have a chat and see what's what.
Because I don't know whether to have I don't know what I would have to have a cover-up, or whether they could just do me another much more detailed dragon over the top of the one I've already got, and just kind of. Yeah.
If you want to get like a dragon sorted like that, because she does dragons, which is a good man.
Okay. Yeah, I might see about getting a bit of colour pour into it as well, because I don't know where to get maybe like a mixture of red and orange, kind of intertwined, because red and orange with dragons works really well. I mean, obviously that colour pattern and everything on Saphira works really nice as well. And actually, I was surprised of how well that turned out personally, because usually blue type tattoos, blue is quite hard to actually. I would say blue is actually quite a hard colour to kind of make right in a tattoo. But I did notice that she's kind of put her own personal spin on it.
Yeah, she has.
Because the stencil that you showed me, that the actual images that showed me, to the one you had actually done, there is a big difference. And a respectable tattooist should always use their own imagination when doing a stencil or doing a design, because basically they do that to get around the copyright thing. Because a lot of people come in with a design that's off of at Google Images or something. And they say, right, I want this done. And like, well, it's not going to be looking right like that, but I will do it for you. But they always put their own personal spin on it, because at the end of the day, they're an artist.
Right, mate. I'm going to get heading off because I've really got to get this washed and done.
You're paranoid.
Mate, you got to be, come on. It's trying to be safe here.
It's not like you're going to go gangrene. You're all right.
Yeah, I know, but still, I should have at least give it a wash out and rewrap it.
You know, just do like soapy water and hot water. Just
I'm
dab.
going to do that and put some Babanthium stuff on it, just a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll probably join you later on. I don't know. I've just got my phone. I'll just switch that on and probably drop in half an hour or something if we're still on.
Yeah, we'll still be on. Because obviously I'm going to have to wait for Lawrence coming back anyways.
All right. Well, I'll see you in a little bit, mate.
All right, man.
All right. See you in a bit.
See you in a bit. Well, it's just me now. Don't know how long Lawrence is going to be. He said he was having to take a call or something. Well, anyway, so those of you watching, apparently there's 4 watchers, 4 viewers. Whoever you are, please let yourselves know on the live chat and get yourself involved. I know Carl was on here, commenting, joking around as always. And Stop Being William said hello to us all. So there's a couple of shout outs. But yeah, I'm not going to be talking about tattoos for the whole thing because I know some people don't really do tattoos. They don't care. Some people don't care about them. Some people do really love tattoos and they're really into the artwork and things like that. And they like to kind of express themselves by putting a tattoo on their bodies. That's pretty, in my opinion, that is what tattoos are all about. It's about expression. It's about personal expression. You know, you don't have to have a tattoo to express yourself. You can express yourself through other means, like through art, through drawing, through filmmaking, through writing, etc. There's plenty of different platforms to express yourself, but basically a tattoo is for life, and it's something that you had to feel comfortable with having on your body to begin with. So it might as well be something that you would really enjoy. Hey, Graham, how are you doing, my friend? Collector75, hello, my friend. Hope you're doing well. It's just me for the moment. Lawrence is going to accept a call. I'm going to have to take a phone call, and Sam has just clocked out for about half an hour. But yeah, anybody that wants a tattoo, go for it, you know. But always make sure you get a design, or you find a design that you are truly 100% on board with. Always find a design that you are really comfortable with having on your body. Obviously, that's very obvious. And obviously try and find a respectable tattooist in your area to get it done, because some places take your money and they do a half-assed job, and once it's on your body, it's hard to get off. You've got to go for a really expensive tattoo removal thing, and it's really painful to get them removed. So always go to someone that's respectable. Always. That's all I will say there. Graham, man hurt like hell. Where did you have it done, Graham? Whereabouts did you have it done? And what did you have done, by the way? What exactly did you have done? I mean, I've had 2 now. I've got 2 tattoos, one on both arms, both here. Show you to the camera. I've got, I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can see myself. That might help. That's the tribal skull design I had done, which is the first one. And then I've got this dragon design as well, but I'm not very happy with that one. I had it retouched up, and it is a bit better than it was. I've had it kind of reshaded, and it does look a little bit better. but I want to have either colour added to it or maybe have a cover up and maybe get a better design done. But we'll see what happens. Whatever's easiest. But we're not here to talk about tattoos for the foreseeable thing. That was just because Sam, because you, Graham, you're just joining us now, or if you've been watching along with us, I don't know for how long, but basically Sam had his first tattoo done earlier today. He had a dragon tattoo done, Saphira from the Eragon Inheritance Cycle books, yeah, he's just, that's how the conversation started with tattoos. If you're still there, Graham, let us know what you got. One on my shoulder, which was kind of a tribal face, which looks a little like a Predacon insignia, and one on my lower arm. Oh, cool. Very cool. I'm actually thinking about getting either an Autobot symbol or a Decepticon insignia or something Transformers related sometime, because I want to get one on the top of my arm here, like a big one, and I want a custom one doing, but I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to have it Transformers related or anime related. I don't know, but I don't know. I mean, the tattoos I want to get, the ones that I do get, I'm not going to have like my arms completely covered or anything like that, but the ones that I do decide to get, I want them to signify the stuff that I enjoy. So I might get one with Transformers kind of based, and then I might get one anime based on my other arm, and then I want to get a memorial tattoo done for my mum, and then I want to just play it by ear like that. But I want to just keep it tasteful, if that makes sense. I know a lot of people have the whole sleeve done. I like the sleeve look, but as long as you can cover it up with a shirt or something like that for work, I personally don't see the problem with it. Lawrence is still not there. Hopefully he shouldn't be too much longer, guys. I do apologise for the slight intermission. But yeah, just while people are gone, I'll just give you a little bit, because obviously I'm on my vlog channel anyways, so this is my channel, so I might as well fill in the blanks. Everything's not too bad with me personally. I've not been doing well. I've been supposed to be on a bit of a break from making actual vlogs. I'm going to start again properly from next week. Start doing maybe once a week or two a week vlog videos again. But personally, I'm not too bad. I'm still applying for jobs, still kind of looking on the job market.
Sam?
Hey, Lawrence. No, yeah, he said he might join us again in about half an hour. He's just going to clean his tattoo and redress it, and then he might come back on up again.
Okay. How are you then?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Just plodding on as you do, you know.
Yeah, same here.
Just currently still applying for jobs and all that jazz, boring, crappy stuff. But it's well, I'm still really, 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 really hoping I can get a job by March or April. But it's looking very unlikely at the moment. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, I've been over 4 months now. Currently, since I left my last place of work. So I've been out of work now for over 4 months, and that's not the longest I've been out. I mean, I've been out of work for nearly 3 years once, which was in between me leaving college and getting my job at Asda.
Yeah, same here.
So I was about nearly 3 years, 2.5 to 3 years gap in between 2016 and 2010. No. 2008, sorry. I finished college, I think, in 2007, 2008. So it would have been about 2.5.
Yeah, same as me. Yeah. I finished my first college course then.
Yeah. Personally,
I'm just, I'm looking for work and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, just looking into options. Maybe looking into certain things like adult training courses and things as well.
Yeah. Well, while you've got the time on your hands and while you're not like weighed down with a job at the moment, it gives you that flexibility to be able to go to a course that is go to these like adult courses and kind of like add something to your CV while you're currently looking. I mean, at the moment, I'm considering going on some kind of college course. If I don't get back into employment by March, April, I'm gonna, because the new term at my whole college, the new term starts about June, July.
Yeah. The thing is, though, at our sort of age, is that you have to pay for them, and they can be quite expensive now.
Some of them can be. Luckily, at my place, at my college, they have basically 3 courses. They are already funded. Basically, you've got one.
Yeah, I know some of them. They've changed the rules to get some adult, depending on your situation. Some adults can do courses for free. I mean, I looked at Leicester College. I'm looking. I don't know if I. Yeah, I mean, you're never too old to do an apprenticeship. I've already done like 2 apprenticeships. I was looking at sort of like what they call an adult traineeship kind of thing, which tends to be more open to people over the age of 24.
Cool.
Because
yeah, well, why not? Why not go for it? I mean, end of the day, it's something to add on to your thing. I mean, at the moment, I'm considering going back into voluntary work while I'm currently applying. To give
this just about finding the right sort of thing for me. I mean, because I've done all these unpaid work placements and stuff where opportunities for work could have come, but they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, I went last time I went to my job centre interview or advisor meeting or whatever. Basically they made me aware that apparently there's a charity shop where I live in Hessle that are currently looking for new volunteers. So maybe maybe over the weekend or maybe on Monday or Tuesday, something next week, I might or whenever I can, whenever earlier, probably tomorrow.
I think employers will be impressed with you if you're willing to do bits of work for volunteering.
Well, yeah. I mean, to be honest, I mean, obviously, it's not the first time I've worked voluntary. I worked for British Heart Foundation as well.
Yeah, I worked for British Heart Foundation, but I got a much more helpful experience out of Oxfam. So I did till training.
Yeah, I did till training with British Heart Foundation. They taught me how to work a till. They also helped.
In my town, we've got quite a few charity shops. We've got British Heart Foundation. We've got 2 Oxfam shops. One's a main charity shop, and another one that's a bookshop. There's quite a few charity shops in this town.
There is, yeah. We've got loads. We've got loads in town city centre. We've got quite a few in Hessle as well, because where I live, the main. There's quite a lot of elderly in Hessle where I live, and so there's a lot of charity shops that mainly appease the older demographic of my area. I mean, I don't mind. I mean, I've always quite enjoyed going to charity shops sometimes, like bargain hunting and that. See if I can find something.
Yeah, I do it as well. I find some good stuff. I mean, particularly in the bookshops, they had like I used to get quite a few mangas from one of the bookshops. They used to have them. One that did comics and things, and Oxfam's good.
We used to have an Oxfam for a long time, and it become a shop called Vanilla, and it's not a charity shop anymore. It's an actual retailer now. But we had an Oxfam long time. I'm
also looking maybe getting back into the admin side. One of the reasons is that I might reckon I just might get a bit more out of admin. And also, if things keep going how they're going, I'm wondering if there'll be many more shops on the high street to actually work in. I mean,
it's looking a bit uncertain at the moment because a lot of people are going to find themselves in mine and your predicament at the minute. A lot of people are going to be out of work with the way things are going. I mean, we're losing M&S. M&S is going to liquidation as well.
I know. If HMV does go down,
Yeah, well, there's HMV going into liquidation or going into some sort of... I think they're trying to find someone that can help them buy them out of the tough spot again, like looking for another person to invest. But it's not the first time it's not the first time HMV as a company has really hit bad times.
No, they were in trouble a few years ago,
weren't they? Yeah, because when the credit crunch hit here in Hull, it literally crippled Hull. We had literally 0 places that were accepting either full-time or part-time employment, and it was like a whole record high of unemployment that our part of the UK has ever seen. And literally, I was one of those people that got hit by that credit crunch hit. I mean, I was literally just finishing my final year at college when it hit.
Yeah, same here.
And a lot of places that were doing like basically, I was looking to see if there's any garages locally, like mechanic garages that were doing apprentices, asking for apprentices to start. And basically, a lot of them that survived, they simply said, "Sorry, we're having to let a few people go, and we're not accepting new apprentices at the moment." And then a lot of places, a lot of independent garages just simply closed overnight. And it was quite a bad few years, really. And I ended up having to get a stewarding job after college. And I literally just did like maybe 2 matches a week, a football match and a rugby match at my local KC Stadium where Hull City play and everything. And basically, I did that for about for nearly 3 years, 3 or 4 years nearly. And then obviously I got the job. Went voluntary.
Did you do that while you were still at college?
Sorry?
Did you do that while you were still at college?
No. I think I can't remember now. I can't remember. I might have started doing. No, I can't have done it while I was at college because college was pretty much, it was a full-time course what I was doing. I think it was pretty much about 4 or 5 days a week. I can't remember now. I really can't remember if I did it while at college or if it was after college, but I was definitely there after college, stewarding. And then...
You were an employee?
Sorry?
You said you were unemployed for a few years. I mean, is that when you did those couple of matches a week, or?
Yeah. Well, I was kind of unemployed, but I did stewarding for just a little bit of pocket money. But I don't really see that as an actual job. It was literally just crowd safety, and literally it was literally just maybe a match or 2 matches a week, and I was getting national minimum wage at the time, about £6 something an hour.
And it's much, is it? So.
So I don't really. It was a job, or it wasn't a job. I don't see it as a job. My main proper job was Asda. That was my main proper permanent job with actual hours. And I was before I finished, I was just over 20 hours a week contracted, which was piss all anyway. But it was more than what I've ever had before. And it was a permanent job, really. But to be honest, a part of me is kind of glad that I'm not there anymore, because it's very uncertain about Asda at the minute as well, because there's been rumours about this Sainsbury's takeover that has been really, really quiet and down at the minute. I think there's a lot of uncertainty with the managerial side of it. There's talk that the management will probably lose their jobs and obviously will be taken over by Sainsbury's management. And there's also talk about possible everyday colleagues like myself, what I used to be, like normal colleagues, not supervisors, normal, just everyday run-of-the-mill, part-timers.
Yeah.
Basically, the part-timers they'll only keep on so many, and those that have been there for so long will likely be told to leave or will probably be made redundant. So that has been. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I don't know if Sainsbury's have pulled out or if they're still in the last decision of where to go with purchasing. Because obviously at the minute I think Asda's still owned by Walmart. But they're supposed to be buying Asda off of Walmart in America, and they're going to kind of thingy it. But I read in the news in the local paper, the Hull Daily Mail and everything, and they're talking about they were a few people that I know that used to work at Sainsbury's said that they are really quite a bully company where they take over a company, but it ends up people losing their jobs because they bring in their own stuff. So I can see that kind of happening with the place I'm at. And I was coming up to nearly 9 years. I was coming up to, I was over 8 years. I was coming up to my 9 year. And if I was still there, and I was still there in April this year, I'll be 9 years of service for Asda. And I can see me being in that bracket of being made redundant. I don't see it would have happened, but I can kind of see I'll probably be made redundant regardless because of the service and the amount of years I've done. Which is kind of wrong, but I've heard that.
It is, yeah. Because if you've given that many, if you've given that many years service and commitment, then you deserve to be kept on. I think the thing is, if you get, unless people get opportunities to train to progress to higher levels like supervisors or management, I think they're the ones that they'll want. The higher qualified.
Well, to be honest, Asda's been going down and down and down as a company. It really has.
Asda was a really good shop. I mean, the thing is, I don't get to go to an Asda very often because I haven't got one locally in Harborough. The nearest one's in a place called Oby, which is a small village between, on the way into Leicester.
Yeah. Yeah, it used to be quite a respectable shop. It was. It used to be number one of all the.
I think things were cheap. You could really go. You could really go there and really have like a proper spree, because you could get your everyday shopping, like your food, your clothes. Yeah, you do your food, your drinks, and you get clothes, cheap clothes, and you could treat yourself because they had some good bargains.
Well, yeah, it did used to be a good place to try and get bargains, and obviously George, which is actually a separate company to Asda. It's actually it's obviously like Tesco's, where they've got their version of like a clothing brand, but it's a separate brand. But it's associated with Tesco, and obviously George is associated with Asda. But yeah, it used to be a respectable place. It used to be. It was actually number one of all the major retailers within the UK. It was number one, and last year, before I finished, we was actually at the bottom of the bottom of the bottom. Literally, companies that are probably we were overtaken by Morrison's. We were overtaken by Sainsbury's, obviously, because Sainsbury's literally are they are the most wealthiest of all the supermarkets because they've bought out Argos as well, and apparently they're looking into buying a few other places as well. So like they were looking into buying ownership of Asda as well, and Asda is literally everywhere. But because the problem is there's a lot of uncertainty with Asda as a company. There's basically stores that have been closed, and I can confirm that has happened because we actually took on a few people about 2017, I think it was. We took on about 4 people that were from a local smaller Asda store, and they closed it down. And they ended up luckily, they were lucky enough to be moved to another store within the area, and we was the closest. So quite a few people have managed to been luckily to relocate, but most of them would have lost their jobs. So they've ended up closing a lot of the smaller stores, keeping open the bigger stores, which are supermarkets.
See, where I live, things aren't quite so bad here because we still get a lot more local. We still get some local independent shops opening, but I mean with the bigger retailers, like I've had interviews with Sainsbury's, I've had an interview with Argos, I've had sometimes I look to the smaller places. The thing is they don't as often have vacancies, but my luck might be better there.
Well,
we've got what was it? Because what we've got here. I mean, we've got Sainsbury's, we've got Tesco, we've got Co-op, we've got Wait. That was quite recent actually. We got a Waitrose. We've recently had a second Co-op, a smaller Co-op store opened as well.
Yeah, we've got a Co-op as well, but ours it's not a superstore Co-op, but it's certainly bigger than a local. It's probably what I would call their medium-sized stores. But we've got a Co-op. We've also got a Herons as well, which is now essentially by B&M. Well, no, sorry.
Yeah,
Herons
strange thing.
Own Bag is whatever the one is.
Yeah, the strange thing is I'm looking in Leicester a bit more because in the shopping centre where the bus station my bus drops off there's been a few new places open, like where our Pound World is now a new B&M.
Oh yeah,
and a new card factory. Our Haymarket bus station, which is the other bus station just around the back of St Margaret's, which is where the coach stops on the way. When it stops on the way to Birmingham to TF Nation.
Yeah.
A second bus station which has a small shopping centre linked to it. And there has been a few places up in there. I was talking because when I did my work placement at the Entertainer last year, I went in there earlier today, and I saw one of the colleagues. She was telling me about places have opened up in Leicester. The thing is, still a majority of the cities, even though all these places are open, they still have quite high unemployment numbers.
Yeah. It's very uncertain about a lot of businesses at the moment. I mean,
I think the Works the Works, the art shop.
Mm-hmm.
I think aren't they going to go down as well? I don't know.
I have no idea. We
in the Leicester shop. I don't know if they're just having a big clearance sale. Let's go. It doesn't say it's closing down, but
we've got one in Hull, and it's continuously got it's got some sort of a clearing sale or some sort of a sale of some kind on.
Yeah.
Apparently, I heard that they were closing, but it's not happened. They are still there. They've been there for many years. I've no idea what's happening with the works. I mean, I actually applied for there. I actually applied for a temporary contract for Christmas, so they're still taking people on. So it must be still lucrative to a point. But to be honest, where most of the shops in Hull are, basically all the major shops are down a place called White Frigate, which is the main shopping district of Hull. And then where White Frigate is, you've got Princess Quay Shopping Centre as well. So it's literally where all the major brands, major shops are. And White Frigate, where obviously that's where HMV is, and that's where M&S is as well, and where CAX as well. We've got CAX down there. And basically, if HMV goes, CAX will be the only place where we can go for actual physical media. And
yeah, I see. I mean, because after Virgin Megastore, Virgin Megastore went down. I think then it was replaced by a company called Savvy. They didn't last long at all. They had a contract with Woolworths.
Yeah.
So they went bust almost instantly. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean, I haven't been to Leicester's. Well, Leicester's main CEX. There's two. There's a very small one in that shopping centre, linked into the bus station. There's also a main shop just on the main way, and that's the one I normally go to. There's I go into because I go to like social events and stuff and have an appointment with the support worker, so I go into Leicester several times a week anyway. I tend to have a look around, but this morning I went, like they have the games workshop. Do you still have one of them in Hull where you play the card games and stuff? We went to a cafe that recently opened, which is now, I think it's called Quest.
Right.
So it's a cafe and also a games workshop. So
right.
you can pay to play games for an hour or a couple of hours, but they also sell things there. Like I think they have some Warhammer stuff, and you had your Yu-Gi-Oh cards, your Pokemon cards, your Dragon Ball cards.
Yeah. Well, we've got an actual Warhammer shop that sells everything Warhammer like and all that. Essentially a games workshop as well. We've got a games workshop that actually is a Warhammer place. It sells everything Warhammer and a lot of those Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that type of games.
Yeah, and there's a very, very small games workshop which is actually in one of my local workshops here. Local bookshops here. I haven't been in. I don't know how long it will last but I mean, the local bookshop, a small bookshop that's been in this town for years and years.
Yeah, to be honest, Hull's it's starting to get really bad. Obviously, we've lost Toys R Us, like everywhere else in the UK and America and that. Apparently, we are getting another toy shop though. It popped up on my job site that I'm applying for jobs with, and it's not open yet. Sorry?
Yeah. You ever see Tony in The Entertainer if you go in, or?
Sometimes, if I'm lucky to kind of match him on the hours he's on, because he doesn't work many hours actually. I was actually quite surprised. He doesn't work many hours at all. Well, he does overtime, but his contracted hours are a bit weird. Oops, no.
And so it's my birthday on Monday, so I'm just kind of getting ready for that. Me and my mum, we're going up to Boston in Lincolnshire tomorrow, because that's where my grandparents are. And neither of them are quite so well, so we're going up to see them, because my grandmother's birthday is the day before mine, the 20th of January.
Oh, yeah. Cool. You got anything planned for your birthday? You going out with people or?
Well, my dad's going to be here. He's coming over from Poland, obviously, yeah, because he's my grandmother's son, and so he's going to be with them. I think over the weekend. He's going to Boston the day on Saturday, which is the day after we're there. And he's going to bring my new computer, my new MacBook Air, and I should have a few bits and bobs he bought me from America as well. I mean, he's got me some pop vinyls. He actually showed me a picture of them.
Oh, cool.
He found the ones. He found the ones of the original Power Rangers, but without their helmets on, so you can see their faces.
All right, cool. There's some weird person lingering in the corner of the feed now. I don't know who it is, so I'm just going to cancel them, mute them. This is some dark alley somewhere. I bet he's waiting for some poor young woman to go by the alley and he's going to pounce.
I am hiding in the corner of the room.
All right, who gives Sam a phone?
I like cake.
Are you on your phone, Sam?
Yes.
I say you're definitely not on your computer because you're not in your shed.
No, he's not in his Pornhub hut. I was actually thinking about what?
I'm in my bedroom.
Why are you whispering?
Because I don't want to wake my parents up.
Why don't you go downstairs?
I can't be asked.
Typical Yorkshire. It's just something. I know you slip down them a lot, mate, but you know, your staircase is literally lethal. They are really narrow stairs, and you slip down them pretty much all the time.
I know.
Especially when you have to rush down them for getting a parcel or something.
I'm just a face.
Oh, Sam, just so you know, I'm seeing my dad in person on Monday because it's my birthday. He's coming over, and I will ask him I will just confirm about our TF Nation arrangement this year.
Yeah,
I keep forgetting to ask him whenever I talk to him.
Yeah, I think he said that's cool. He's not. He's having to be really quiet because he don't want to wake up his parents. You know what would be really, really awkward if he could started hearing some really weird noises from his parents' room while he's currently streaming. That would be really funny. Oh yeah. Oh, you're doing so good. Oh yeah.
You're a sick.
Huh? What? Speak into the microphone.
What games have you been playing? Any games recently, John?
Actually, I've been playing a little bit of Grand Theft Auto 5, the new one, GTA 5. I really put that back in, and I'm not doing the story at the moment. I'm currently doing what you're supposed to do with Grand Theft Auto. That the memories I made with cheat codes.
Do you go online?
No, I don't have an online account at the moment.
You just like to go out. You just like to go on and rampage. That's what I like to do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what GTA is all about, rampaging. My favourite GTA game for rampaging has to be San Andreas and Vice City. Two are absolutely great because you can go right on top of the shopping centre, or the hospital, and you can just lavish everybody from the heavens. And it lasted me for hours. I actually, at one point, I remember one time I actually had, obviously I'm not the only person that does this, but I do remember it lasted so long that I actually had the army after me. And it's actually quite rare to get the army after you on GTA because you had to be like full stars to get the army after you. And it's quite difficult sometimes to last that long.
Yeah.
And I managed to last about 3 hours.
I just like it when the police still are after you of you going on a rampage. So sometimes they stop after a while, but because I had San Andreas, which was a good one. The first one I had for the PS2 I really got into was Vice City. I just used to love that.
Oh yeah, you can't. I love Grand Theft Auto. I mean, for the
I had the three main ones for PS2. I had Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, San Andreas.
Yeah, I had all of them. I had all of them that were like the new ones. You know, when they started to become like normal 3D games.
Yeah, because like the PS1 ones, Grand Theft Auto and Grand Theft Auto 2 in London, they were all like bird's eye views.
Yeah,
like Game Boy. I'm like, I play a game like that.
Yeah, the original GTA games, the first 2 or 3, I don't know. The first ones were actually bird's eye view, little mini cars and dots for a gun or something. But I liked them. I enjoyed them. I mean, essentially, basically, the original GTA was officially a PC game. It was originally meant for like PC gamers, and then it kind of become a actual PS. It went up on the PS1. Then it became quite a cult thing on the console system, and then pretty much that's where Rockstar pretty much lend their thing. Yeah, you can get Grand Theft Auto games, I think, on PC still, but it's much more grounded now to a console gamer. Much to the dismay of what Sam may think of that, but nobody cares what Sam thinks.
Have you been playing any games recently, Dan?
Just Space Engineers.
Space Engineers?
Yep.
What the hell's that? Never heard of it.
It's a game where you design and build spaceships.
Ah, okay. By the way, Sam, I have got a message from Carl for you.
I saw it.
Sam saw it, but I'm going to read it. Ooh, Sam's mum, fuck me up the ass and that, and with that massive rubber cock. He also said GTA 1 and 2 were fucking ace, and they absolutely was, and then run over a load of Hare Krishnan.
Yeah.
No idea what that means.
The one PS1 game, one shooting sort of PS game I did like, I remember. I never actually had a copy of it, but I played was the Driver, the first Driver. You know, when you have to get away from the police.
Yeah, I did a Driver game.
I think I had Driver 3 for the original Xbox. The thing is, I could only play it when I went to my dad's because I had a PS2 at home because my dad was living in Germany. I had an Xbox there when I went to go and visit him.
Oh, dear me. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I didn't have an Xbox at home until I got an Xbox 360. Well, I mean, because I've always had more than one console. Because there's things I love about all of them. So you know, I've got let's see, 3 retro consoles. I've got Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One. I've still got my 2DS. I have still got a Vita, but I don't do anything with it.
Yeah, I've got a 3DS, the original 3DS, not the new version. Yeah. I'm actually thinking maybe in a few years down the line, I might maybe get rid of my 3DS and maybe just go to the new relaunch of the 2D because I don't use the 3D functionality on it. And the new one has a larger screen, a little bit of a larger screen for gaming. But I don't know, Sam.
I thought they were now.
Sorry?
I thought they were finishing with the DS now. because
Well,
I thought the Switch was taking over.
They are talking about maybe stopping. I have heard rumors about the 3DS or the DS itself. I think they're working on a new thing, a new handheld console, which is going to kind of end the DS range. I think they're working on a new one, but pretty much essentially what the Switch is literally a combination of a console and a 3DS.
It is, yeah. That's what's wonderful about it.
I mean, I really want to get a Switch. I might see maybe end of the year, see how money is if I can get a job, and maybe at the end of the year, Christmas, I might treat myself to one. You watch, I'll finally get myself a Switch, and the next day they'll announce the next version of the Switch. But you bastards! That's usually happened with me, right? When I first,
I think Nintendo have sort of announced that the Switch probably will be their final console. Because it seems that whenever Nintendo gets a really good original idea, eventually either Sony or Microsoft will just copy it.
Yeah. Well, to be honest with you, Nintendo will make another console because basically with what's been it's all speculation at the moment with the next PlayStation, which has been dubbed the PS5, but I've heard rumors that they thought the PlayStation 4 was going to be their last PlayStation, but I don't know if they're going back on that decision or if it's just like a
I heard that they were just going to keep sort of upgrading the PS4 and then re-releasing it. Like you got the 4, you got 4 PS4 Pro and all that, and I heard that was what happened. They were just going to kind of add to it.
Well, the PS4 Pro is going to be, I think, the last version of the Pro of the PS4s, because this year they're going to be, I think, announcing the next console, but it won't be out until 2020, 21. Because apparently, what's interesting, PlayStation will not be at E3. PlayStation will not be doing a presentation at E3 this year. They might still be there kind of as a vendor with like showing kind of games that might be coming out, like demos, but they're not going to be there as a big body anymore. Or at least this year, they're not going to be there this year because apparently I've heard rumors that the whole E3 thing is dying a bit in popularity. A lot of people are going through different means to get their demos, to get their gaming fix. And apparently, like Twitch and other things like YouTube and things like that, they're doing a much better job to bring the new games.
Exactly.
So yeah, but apparently the reason why people are speculating that they're pulling out, because apparently the last time they pulled out, they announced the PS3 or the PS4 or something. So apparently people have this preconception or this rumor that they're pulling out because they have a big announcement that they're going to bring out through their own YouTube channel, because they have their own PlayStation channel, YouTube channel. So they're likely going to make a big announcement on YouTube through their channel, through their main media outlet, and through their social medias. Because apparently social media is doing much better things for the gaming industry at the minute.
Yeah, well, it would do.
Don't get me wrong, E3 is helping these companies like Xbox, but apparently PlayStation are kind of pulling out because they think what they're doing with advertising on social media and advertising it on YouTube, it's helping them out with profit. And guess what? PlayStation is the official best-selling console of all time. It has outsold the Xbox, so haha, Tony, haha, Tony, haha, Tony.
Yeah.
Tony keeps going on and on.
I think it's
the best one, and it's obviously.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I remember back when I was 9 years old when I got my first PlayStation, and it kind of happened out of the blue when I said to my mum, I really want to get a PlayStation with my birthday money, but we were just shopping in Leicester one day, so all right, well, we'll have a look at them. And the first thing we looked at was the Nintendo 64, but then we finally found a value pack deal on PlayStation. and which we got because all my friends had got PlayStations for Christmas that year, and then I wanted one. The thing was that for Nintendo, there's never been as many games for their consoles as like. I mean, until I had a Wii, the only Nintendo consoles I had were the handheld ones.
Yeah, well, with me, I mean, the first Nintendo product I actually owned was the Game Boy Advance.
I had a Game Boy Pocket, a Game Boy Color, and then a Game Boy Advance SP, and then DS.
Yeah, because I never got a Game Boy Color because the Game Boy Color came out in the 90s when I was at school, at primary school, and they became a really popular thing, the Game Boy Colors, and I really, really wanted one.
Yeah, because they came out around the time, didn't they? That Pokemon came around and everyone was playing Pokemon.
Yeah, they launched mainly with the first Pokemon games, which the Pokemon Color console was when they debuted the Pokemon thing. Obviously, there was debuted in Japan first. It came out a good year before the Western and American order.
Because I think the games kind of came to America and Europe around the same time that the anime did. Is when it took off. Because I had like Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. So I think it all sort of exploded at the same time. The Game Boy games, the cards, the anime, all the merchandise stuff.
Yeah. I don't know what Sam's doing. I think Sam's mainly coming on the chat now. He doesn't seem to be here with us in video format because he can't be asked to go down the stairs. But anyway, so Carl's been talking to us again. So he says, I recommend that you all try Crossout on Xbox. Free-to-play post-apocalyptic Mad Max-esque car-building demolition derby action. Interesting. I may consider looking into that. And he also says about Nintendo, says, Nintendo's main console lines for the past few years haven't sold at all well. The DS is doing much better. Yeah, the DS is a much more successful thing, mainly in Japan, because handheld consoles are more popular in Japan. The Wii U tanked horribly. Yes, it did, because there was barely anything decent on that, in my opinion. And I was thinking of getting one, but I really don't like it. I never bothered.
I liked it because they still had the remastered versions for the classics, but the Switch is doing very well. I think at this point, I heard the Switch is doing better than the Xbox One.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, the Nintendo Switch is doing very well. It's sold a lot of units, and it's just a really clever bit of kit. I mean, it's not the. There's other things out there that use docking stations, or has used docking stations in the past, but I like the Switch. I like the thing with the Switch console, because you've got the whole thing with you can take it out with you like a DS. You can take it out with you, and then
have you ever played on one before?
No, I've not even played one yet. No, I've not even been on one, but I do like the quality. The idea behind it.
Yeah.
Basically, Carl said as well, sales don't mean quality. Well, to be honest, yeah, to a point, but end of the day, the PlayStation is a freaking great console, and I really don't care what Xbox people say, because to be honest, I did own an Xbox 360. Now, people are like, okay, it's an Xbox 360. It's not an Xbox One, but still, it was an Xbox console. And the only thing I like about the Xbox is it has a really, really good... I really like the design of the controller. I really like the controller. Yeah. It's a very, very good design. But when it comes to the games, the only thing that keeps it going, that keeps Microsoft still in the game, is Halo and Gears of War. They are the only two franchises that Microsoft seem to be able to offer to what seems to be still very popular. But PlayStation have a lot of interesting stuff that is their own PlayStation only. And yeah, I personally think you've got more variety with PS4, personally. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, there's definitely more. There's definitely more software variety. And more games for the PS4.
Yeah, more games.
Yeah,
more variety. Yeah, I mean, most of the games you can play on an Xbox anyway because they're on different platforms. But what I'm meaning is that PS4 seems to get a lot of don't get me wrong, some of them have been shit when they've released, but end of the day, PS4 seems to get a lot of really interesting games that are PS4 only. Xbox doesn't really seem to get.
Yeah, like a lot of the anime RPGs. Some of them. A majority of them do come out for Xbox as well, but PS4 have a lot of them just only on PlayStation, like the Digimon ones. I mean, I quite like these new Digimon games.
Carl says here, as well. I remember buying a PS1 from Dixon's with 2 games for 125 quid. Bloody hell. I can't remember. Well, to be honest, I don't even know how much mine cost because my parents got me a PS1 for Christmas back in like the late 90s, 99, 98, 99. I think I got mine about a year after it released.
Yeah, I got mine in January 1999. Just for my birthday. I think I got the value pack one for it was like £100 deal, like not with the DualShock controller, but for the value pack you got 2 regular controllers, a memory card, and I think I got a game. I think I had to pay extra for the game. I think my mum paid. I got my first game I had was Crash Bandicoot, which is about 1999, and whilst the people who own DualShock controllers, the people who got I think was the console and the DualShock controller. They didn't get a memory card. That's my friend was really jealous of me at the time because he got a DualShock one for Christmas while the controller was good. It didn't matter because even if you didn't have, you could actually just buy a DualShock controller.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I think the first PS1, it was the one before they re-released the DualShock thing. So my first PS1 was just the PlayStation controllers without the DualShock. So it was the first generation controller anyway. But then I think I've got 2. I don't know why, but I have 2 PS1s. So one must be.
I really don't get, even though this classic PS1 is doing so badly. And it's quite understandable why, because they haven't put enough memorable games on there. But what they've done is they've just put the regular. You get 2. I think you get a regular controller with it. They haven't done a DualShock with it.
No,
I mean,
well, to be honest,
my arm would have been twisted if they were still in the pricing game. It went down in the sales to $49.99 temporarily, which I might be willing to pay that. For the 3 games I really want, which were Tekken 3, FF7, and
I might wait for it to come down even lower because I'm not.
Yes, now it's gone back to $89.99. I'm not paying that for it.
No, well, yeah.
Neither the NES or the SNES was that much.
Yeah. Well, to be honest with you, the PS1 Classic, like I said before in previous live chats, I did pre-order a PS1 Classic. PlayStation Classic, and I was actually quite excited for the games, mainly because I was excited that we're going to finally get hopefully a HD remaster of Metal Gear, which is what fans have been wanting for years. So this was probably the only way you would be able to play a HD remaster, or not remaster, but a HD quality version of the original game. And then obviously you had one of Final Fantasy VII on there, I think, the original. then you had obviously Tekken 3, which is.
I've heard that there's a remake. I think there's a remake of that coming though. Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, there is.
My friend's got it on pre-order. So
yeah, there is. There's a remake.
Finally got I can't believe this friend of mine. He's finally got a gen console, and he's had a PC for years. He's obsessed with World of Warcraft.
Oh yeah.
That's why he was PC gamer.
Yeah. What else is people saying on here? Yeah, I agree with what Cal says here. Wii has to be the dumbest idea for a console name ever. Yes, I completely agree. I had the first generation Nintendo Wii console, and it was clever. It got people active, and people did actually lose weight with using it regularly with the Wii Fit thing that they did. But
they first came out in 2006, didn't they? Because I remember there was these jokes on the radio jingles, like saying, "Oh, if your kids tell you that they need a Wii, they probably won't be saying what you think or something like that."
Yeah. Yeah, that's that. And obviously Sam is now currently on, I don't know if he's still here, but Sam is actually on the chat as well. So he's pretty much just talking to Carl on the chat. But he says, Wii U had one good game, and that was the zombie game. That was its whole sales pitch. And that is true. I mean, there was that zombie game.
I think that's one I didn't have. That's one I didn't have, was that. I had one sort of first-person shooter for it, which I think was a PS3 port. I can't remember the one, but that was the only like adult game I had. Like, because I loved all the because they had like the re-releases of a lot of the Zelda. The ones that they didn't do for DS, they did for like Wind Waker, and I had all the Mario games. I got Pokemon Tag Tournament, which is good, which is basically like Pokemon Stadium. You can get that on the Switch now, remaster. You can get. Obviously I had Zelda Breath of the Wild, which is obviously that was the opening game for the Switch, but it was also the last release for the Wii U. The launch game for the Switch was Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, well, I want to get the Zelda game. I mean, if I get, well, like I say, I'm not in a big rush for a Switch. And to be honest, I do have room for a Switch, because the beautiful thing of the Switch, it doesn't take any room up at all.
No, it doesn't. No. The docking station is nice and small. So
yeah, the docking station literally can just put that right next to your TV or on your desk, and it's much more storage conscious. If that makes any sense, it's much more storage conscious.
It is. Yeah.
So you don't need a load of space for it.
Yeah. But, I would recommend get Mario Odyssey.
That's another game I want to get.
Yeah.
I want to get the Zelda game that you mentioned. I want to get Mario Odyssey. I also want to get the Pokemon Arena game or whatever it is, that other Pokemon game.
Pokemon Tag Tournament.
I think it is that, yeah. And I want to get, obviously, Pikachu, the Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee one as well.
Yeah, that's really good. I've got to the last phase, I think. I'm now at the Pokemon League. I've done all the badges. I'm just trying to get through the Pokemon League, which is the hardest part. because if all your Pokemon run out of health, you have to start the whole thing again. You go back to the nurse join and start the whole thing again, which is like, ugh. But it's been really fun.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how things go. I mean, at the moment, I can't really afford to pay anything money-wise at the minute, so just see how things work out at the end of the year.
Don't worry, you'll find something, buddy. You will. I was told is try and get lost in the process of looking for work, and eventually it will just happen. That's kind of how it happened for me my first time.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that I don't. The only thing that I'm a bit concerned about, I really hope I don't come round to come off for like last time I was unemployed, because with things in the whole being so uncertain about job security at the minute in Hull, and there's barely any full-time employment. It's all part-time or for 0-hour contracts. And there's so much uncertainty with the high street in Hull at the moment, with shops going into liquidation like M&S. They've just filed for it again. They are possibly leaving. Probably first time in its history it's left the high street. So that is going to be, that is probably going to be going. Then obviously HMV's in a bad way. That's going to be going. And ironically, they're two places that I applied for before Christmas. And I never got anywhere with them. So there must be some sort of turmoil, but yet they're still after staff.
Yeah.
It's really uncertain at the minute. I mean, retail is really uncertain and very unsecure at the moment. I don't know where to really see myself as. I mean, I'm thinking about if I don't get see how things go, but I might see about maybe training up into some sort of different field and then leave retail completely behind. But no job is secure in this day and age. No job. I don't care what you do. Every job has problems financially, and eventually those problems will come back to haunt them. And a lot of businesses that were once really well respected and were once pretty damn wealthy have come to an end. And there's some companies that really surprised me that actually ended up going. But
I know. I mean, it's a real shock to me when we lost Woolworths in 2008 at the beginning of the crash, because I've been going to Woolworths for years and years and years. For years I did like literally all my shopping there.
Yeah. I mean, I used to love Woolworths. We had apparently, according to my dad, we had 2 Woolworths, but I can't remember a second one. It must have been before my time. But I remember the one of them, and it was an absolutely massive shop. It was like one of the biggest biggest retailers in Hull, and it sold everything. I usually for my birthday money, or for my birthday presents, or for Christmas presents and such when I was a kid, my parents would probably go there. If they didn't have it, which was rare. If they didn't have it at the time, they'd probably go to our Macro. We have a place called Macro as well, and they sell a lot. They used to sell a lot of the most needed toys. For me, it was Woolworths was literally the best thing. You had proper pick and mix. They started the mix thing. They had DVDs, they had CDs, they had toys, they had everything you possibly wanted under one roof, and it was absolutely fantastic. When that place closed, it was really, really bad for Hull, because I think when Woolworths closed, it really crippled our infrastructure when it came to retail. It really did. Because it was the start of going downhill for Hull when that place went, because it was our main big shop.
Yeah.
It just went downhill. Really, I mean, we've had quite a few places. We had a game station, which was actually
Leicester had one of those small. Obviously because Game Station was a really good shop, because they tended to be a bit cheaper than a game shop.
Basically, Game Station were kind of they sold new releases, but they also kind of did the whole pre-owned game thing as well.
Yeah.
We had a game station for a long time, but I started, because when we finally got Game, and that's still here in Hull. It's now moved. Now it used to be in St Stephen's Shopping Centre, but now I think it's moved to. It's now in another shopping centre. We've got 3 shopping centres in Hull, which is confusing as hell for some people, and myself. But yeah, it's we have still got Game. But yeah, the Game Station, I stopped going there because I remember I bought a game from there and it was actually corrupted game, and they still sold it. There was a bit of a thing at the time where basically this was the main thing why Game Station actually ended as a business. They were actually selling games that were either broken or they had code problems.
Yeah,
like, they wouldn't let
it's the same
incomplete-
thing. I mean, like, you know, obviously, like Blockbuster and stuff. We had a Blockbuster in the town, which is normally that's where I used to go for DVDs and stuff because they had a lot. They had pre-owned, they had new releases, and you know, a variety of DVDs and Blu-rays.
Yeah, but yeah, we've still got a game. We've had a games shop. Well, actually, we used to have two. We used to have one. We used to have two game shops, but then one of them closed, and it became we've got like one main one now.
Master's got two. They've got a bigger one in the main shopping centre, and one that's actually pretty much just outside it, which is a smaller one.
Yeah, to be honest, it is a little bit uncertain, really. I mean, I just don't know. I just don't know what's going to happen. I mean, hopefully, all I care about is if I can just get into somewhere where I can kind of like, you know, just at least get somewhere, and then once I'm there, I can start looking for something better. But at the moment, I'm literally just looking for something that I can just simply go straight into, and I kind of know what to do. I think Sam's playing with himself because all I can hear is faint movement of him brushing past the mic with something. I think
I'm gonna have to head off shortly, buddy, because I'm gonna nip out to see if the burger bar is still open.
Ooh.
So I haven't eaten anything. Because normally they're open till about midnight.
Can you send me a burger, please? Unfortunately, my takeaway during the week it closes about 11, half 11. So by the time we finish this, it'll be like closed. But I'm trying to cut down. Actually, the last few days I've not really eaten that much. I've just eaten kind of my main meals, and I've tried to stop the snacking in between, which is my main problem. And when I look like I'm fucking wall.
So I'm not so confident with cooking at the minute. Because when I've been cooking, I set off the fire alarm several times for some reason because it seems to be so sensitive.
Oh, right. Apparently, Sam. Sorry, don't know why Chris came into my head for them. I don't know. Anyway, so basically, Sam said VR pods will be the future. What the hell are VR pods? Do you mean VR technology, like the visor things? Then he says GameStation didn't shut down; it was part of Game. Ah, right. I didn't realize that. I thought it was a completely separate company. It was just absorbed into Game, hence why Games sell second-hand tech. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that does kind of make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we used to have a game station and two game stores, proper game places, but one of them closed and Game Station closed, and I thought they'd gone out of business. It's two separate businesses. I realised it became essentially one company.
Yeah, I mean, Game Station was good. I mean, I never bought that much from there, but I always went in and had a look to see what they had when we had one. The only place we can really buy a variety of games from in my hometown now is Argos. And occasionally I do go in there because they tend to be a few quid cheap. New releases tend to be a few quid cheaper than Game.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wish I had a little bit more. That's me. I just wish I had a little bit more room a bit more space in my room, like a bigger bedroom, because
yeah,
you know if I did,
I'm very lucky to have the place I've got. I mean, so many people in my area and around the whole country have been wanting a place like this.
Well, you are lucky. I mean, you're currently looking for work and everything, and you've got your own little flat and everything. It's great to have your own place, and plus you've got much more space than me and Sam do. Like 100, like 10 to 20 times more space to put the stuff that you want to collect and buy. But for me, it's all has to be in one room. And at the moment, I'm at my literal limit because what Sam bought me for my birthday All them 40 things Sam bought me for my birthday, I still have them in the bag because I can't find a spot for them, and they've been sat there in the corner for only 2 months
Well,
now.
no, I've seriously had to cut down on the plastic stuff now because it's taken up a lot of room. But I don't tend to buy as much now. I only tend to buy something when I really want. It's like the stuff I saw at TF Nation last year. Like I saw those VR, those boxed VR Troopers figures that had never opened, and I bought them because that's the sort of stuff that would be really difficult to find because elsewhere.
Yeah, well, to be honest, while I'm out of work and everything, and got most of my days free, I'm actually going to go through all my figures. I'm going to completely reorganize them because I used to have a bit of a theme on every shelf. I used to have like basically G1 was together, my masterpieces were all together, my generations, or what they go by as Chug, which is Universe, Generations, and Henki Universe, all that stuff all together, Combiner Wars and all that stuff. I think that's what it means. Oh, Classics, Henki, Universe, Generations.
Yeah.
I think it's for.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I'm not the most tidy person or the most organized person.
No, I'm not. To be honest, I've rearranged my DVD thing behind me, and I've finally been able to fit every single DVD that was downstairs. I managed to fit it all on here, which I've. But the only thing I need to sort out is my Blu-ray thing. So I don't know if you can notice it on your camera, Lawrence, but some of them shelves are starting to bow. And
I mean, I've got. On my shelves here, behind me, I've got all my Blu-rays, sort of on these 4 shelves, and then the rest around the whole lounge, the whole living room is just DVDs, and then my games are on the shelf that's just behind the computer.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm actually thinking about getting rid of some of my games and make some more room. I mean, I might keep some that I regularly play, but
I had way too many games. I'm not going to buy as many now as I used to. I had so many games sat on the shelf. I did a massive trade-in before Christmas, mainly to save money, and obviously as a bonus, it makes room because I did a massive trade-in of so many games I'd had for a long time, just sitting on the shelf gathering dust, and I knew I wasn't going to play them again. I wanted to get Smash Bros for the Switch. I wanted to get Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, and I got Red Dead Redemption as well. Red Dead Redemption 2, and I also got £30 a year of golden membership for game to get discount on your purchases with it.
Yeah.
So I did really well. All right then, buddy. Well, I'm gonna head off now. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
grab a very late because I'm. All right. Well, are you free perhaps on Sunday night?
Yes, will be. I will be.
Maybe
if you're still there, Sam. If you're still there, Sam, type and let us know if you're free on Sunday, or voice it into the microphone. I don't know.
Okay, then. Well,
can do.
I'll say thanks for watching. Yeah, thanks for having me, John, and nice to talk to you, Sam. Like your tattoo, so I'll see you soon.
Even though Sam now just literally a type robot now, he's now become a type bot.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll see you soon, guys.
Bye. See you, Lawrence. Well, I think he's gone. Yep. Well, it's just me and you, Sam, now. Do you want to head off as well, or do you want to carry on for a little bit longer? Type and let me know. I can hear typing. I still know why you still go downstairs. It just makes sense to go downstairs, and you can actually verbally, physically speak. Anyway, I'll head off, so we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so Sam's going to head off now. He has now become a live chat bot now, so he's become a troll. So Sam's now become a troll, and Carl says as well, LOL, you should see the state of my den. I'm running out of space big time. I am as well, Carl. I literally have 2 big bags, which is a mixture of my birthday presents and my Christmas presents that I still need to go through and organise. And then I've got stuff that I cannot fit on a shelf. But all my Transformers are on shelves, which is good. But I need to sort out my DVD problem on my games. I'm going to see about getting rid of some of my games so I can make room. But anyway, so thank you very much to Sam. Thank you very much to Carl. Thanks to Graham, Collector75, for coming into it. Thanks to Stop Being William as well. He also commented very early on. Sam is now completely gone. But anyway, so thanks for watching, folks. Thanks for viewing and typing along with us. Hope you've enjoyed the live thing. So thank you for watching. I'm back very soon. Probably Sunday, like Lawrence said. Might do another one on Sunday, some point, Sunday evening. But yeah, peace. Bye-bye.